My fiancé laughed while his dad called me a gold digger at our engagement dinner, so I handed back the ring and walked out in silence. I, 28 female, just walked out on my fiancé, 30 male, of 2 years after what was supposed to be our celebratory engagement dinner last night. I'm sitting alone in my apartment right now, still in the dress I wore, mascara streaked down my face, trying to make sense of everything that happened. Alex and I met 3 years ago at a charity fundraiser. He works in finance, comes from old money, and moves in circles I never did growing up. I'm a public school teacher who paid my own way through college with scholarships and part-time jobs. Despite our different backgrounds, we connected instantly. He was charming, intelligent, and seemed to value my independence and passion for education. I fell hard for him, and he seemed just as in love with me. 2 weeks ago, he proposed during a weekend trip to the coast. It was intimate, romantic, and everything I could have dreamed of. I said yes without hesitation. The ring was gorgeous, an emerald-cut diamond that must have cost a fortune. I was floating on air, excited to start our life together. Last night was our official engagement dinner with his family at Le Jardin, one of the most expensive restaurants in the city. I'd met his parents a handful of times before, always feeling slightly uncomfortable around his father, Edward, a stern investment banker who rarely smiled. His mother, Cynthia, was polite but distant, the type who measures worth by family lineage and country club memberships. I spent hours getting ready, wanting to make a good impression. I wore a navy blue dress I'd saved 3 months to buy, did my hair in an elegant updo, even borrowed my roommate's pearl earrings. I wanted so badly for them to see me as worthy of their son. The evening started well enough. Champagne was poured, congratulations offered. Alex held my hand under the table, squeezing it reassuringly whenever I seemed nervous. Then, during the main course, Edward cleared his throat and fixed his gaze on me. "So, Claire," he said, swirling his wine, "now that you're officially joining the family, we should discuss the prenuptial agreement." The table went silent. Alex tensed beside me. "Dad, we haven't even set a date yet," Alex said with a nervous laugh. "Let's not get ahead of ourselves." Edward's expression hardened. "Nonsense. These matters should be settled early. The Bennett family assets need protection." I felt my cheeks burning. "I understand the need to protect family assets," I said carefully. "I don't have any issue with a fair prenup." Cynthia gave me a thin smile. "How pragmatic of you." "Well, you've certainly landed on your feet, haven't you?" Edward continued, his tone growing sharper. "A school teacher marrying into the Bennett fortune. Your mother must be thrilled." My mother passed away when I was 19. Alex knew this. His parents knew this. "My mother would have wanted me to be happy," I said quietly, my appetite gone. Edward chuckled. "I'm sure she would." Nothing makes a mother happier than seeing her daughter secure a wealthy husband. I looked at Alex, waiting for him to say something to defend me, but he just stared at his plate. "I didn't say yes to Alex because of his money," I said, my voice shaking slightly. "I love him." "Of course you do, dear," Cynthia interjected with false sweetness. "The money is just a fortunate bonus, isn't it?" Edward laughed then, a harsh sound that cut through the restaurant's ambient noise. "Let's not be naive. Pretty young women from modest backgrounds don't pursue men like my son for their personality." I felt like I'd been slapped. "Excuse me, Dad?" Alex finally spoke, but his voice lacked conviction. "What?" Edward challenged. "I'm simply acknowledging what everyone at this table is thinking. She's a gold digger, a rather transparent one at that." And then it happened. Alex laughed, a short, awkward chuckle that might have been nervousness, or an attempt to diffuse tension. But it wasn't a denial. He didn't defend me. He laughed. In that moment, everything went very quiet in my mind. I looked at Alex, this man I thought I knew, and realized I was seeing him clearly for the first time. His silence was deafening, his laugh damning. Without a word, I slipped the ring off my finger. I placed it gently next to his water glass. The clink of diamond against crystal seemed impossibly loud. "Claire," he started, finally registering what was happening. I stood up, grabbed my purse, and walked out of the restaurant. Not running, not crying, just walking, one foot in front of the other, head held high. I didn't look back, not even when I heard him call my name. Now, I'm sitting here wondering if I overreacted, if I threw away my future over one bad dinner. But then I remember his laugh, and I know I couldn't have stayed. Was I wrong? Should I have fought harder? Am I just proving his father right by walking away? I don't know what happens next. I just know I couldn't marry into a family where I'd always be seen as less than. And I couldn't be with someone who wouldn't stand up for me. Act 2. It's been 3 days since I walked out of that restaurant, and my world has been a hurricane of emotions and confrontations. Alex came to my apartment the morning after. I was still in my pajamas, eyes swollen from crying, when I heard his persistent knocking. Part of me wanted to ignore him, but I needed closure. I needed answers. When I opened the door, he looked terrible. Unshaven, wrinkled clothes, dark, circles under his eyes. He was holding the ring in one hand and a bouquet of roses in the other. Classic Alex, thinking grand gestures could paper over fundamental problems. "Please," he said, his voice hoarse. "Let me explain." I let him in, but kept my distance, arms crossed over my chest like armor. "I'm sorry about last night," he started. My father was completely out of line. He had too much to drink, and you know how he gets. "Do I?" I asked. "Because in the 3 years we've been together, you've never once mentioned that your father thinks I'm a gold-digging opportunist." He winced. "He doesn't really think that." "Yes, Alex, he does. And what hurts more than his words is that you sat there and let him say them. You laughed." Alex ran his hands through his hair in frustration. "It was just nervous laughter. What was I supposed to do? Cause a scene in the middle of Le Jardin? You were supposed to defend me." My voice cracked with emotion. "You were supposed to tell your father that I'm the woman you love, that I've never asked you for money, that I've worked hard my entire life. You were supposed to be on my side." He placed the ring on my coffee table. "I am on your side, Claire. Always. I love you. My father's opinion doesn't matter." "But it does matter, Alex. It matters because you're letting him disrespect me. It matters because someday we might have children, and I won't let them grow up hearing their grandfather call their mother a gold digger, while their father sits in silent agreement." For a moment, he looked genuinely confused. Silent agreement? That's not what happened. Then what would you call it? He couldn't answer. "Has your father always felt this way about me?" Alex hesitated, which told me everything I needed to know. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked, my voice small. "Because it doesn't matter what he thinks. I love you for you. Your kindness, your passion for teaching, your ridiculous obsession with true crime podcasts. Who cares what my father thinks?" "I care," I said simply, because his attitude reflects what our life together would be like. Every family gathering, every holiday, every milestone. I'd always be the gold digger who trapped their son. And apparently, you'd always be the man who stands by and lets it happen. "We can fix this," he insisted. "I'll talk to my father, make him apologize."